Welcome to the
Cruise 8 Podcast.
Yeah, man, we're back. And we've got...
We are so back.
We're really back. After a long, delicious break. It was great. We got Derek.
Yes, it was delicious. Oh, it's me.
We had Rowie.
Hi.
Delicious. Pratik.
Hello everybody, it's nice to be back. And we have Mikey.
Oh, yeah.
One and only.
Oh, delicious.
It's going to be a really yummy podcast
Yeah, definitely.
today. Yes.
Well, we definitely missed you all.
Yeah, I know, right?
We hope you had like a good little break from our voices.
And now you're ready for them again.
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, let's turn to our amazing compere, Pratik.
Oh, thank you. I've got some very deep questions for us. I thought we will start the first podcast of the year with some intense, deep questions.
Wow.
Let's
do it.
Thank you. Yeah. I'd like to talk a bit about personality today. And I was wondering, what kind of changes have you noticed in yourself since you were a teenager up till today or now?
Ooh. Up till today.
Teenager Mike.
Oh, me first?
Oh.
I don't think a lot must have changed, but you still have that teenage enthusiasm.
Still very shy.
Spark.
Let me think. Some of the biggest changes from my personality, probably being much more considerate of other people. I think when I was young, I had quite a small world. You know, when you're in school, you kind of, you know, your friends and your parents, and that's about it, right? And yeah, I think my world was much smaller and more focused inwards about what I wanted to do. It's my life, damn it, don't tell me what to do. But I think as I got older and met more people and had relationships and things like that, I learned how to be more careful and thoughtful about other people and taking their hopes and dreams and desires into consideration as well. Yeah, more conscientious would be the word, I suppose.
Does anyone else here feel the same way, or has anything to add?
I think kind of similar to Mike, I have become more aware of how to control my emotions. When I was a teenager, when I was younger, I would be upset. For example, I had a bad morning and I would just be upset the whole day, and sometimes it would affect my interactions with my friends too, and it just made people probably didn't want to be around me because I was not
Never.
Oh, so sweet. But I was not the best person whenever I was upset or I was sad. My emotions were everywhere, all over the place. But I think now I've learned to just take a moment and let those feelings stay within that moment and then proceed with my day and not take everything that happened in one instance as something that would affect the entire outcome of my day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think as teenagers we can all agree with that. We at some point in time we must have all seen those outbursts of emotions. Rowie, would you like to shed some light on how do you think this change has come about in you?
Actually, interestingly enough, it's one specific instance that made me change my perspective on how I control my emotions. A friend
Tune
of mine.
in next week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Not so soon.
You have to wait a little bit more. But yeah, I was in high school and I was, again, upset. It was morning. I was upset. I had recess with my friends and I was just not being a really good person to be around. And one of my friends, and I even still remember her name, Queen. Her name's Queen.
Queen.
Yeah. We used to call her Queenie.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she told me that, Rowie, you shouldn't really let your feelings affect other people around you. Or you shouldn't ruin other people's days just because you had a bad morning or a bad experience. And, she was being a great friend. She was just telling me what I needed to hear.
That's good advice.
Yeah, it was
That's
good
good
advice.
Mm.
It might not have been easy to hear it at that time, but obviously it's great advice because up to now, I remember that specific moment. And I remember just like a light bulb clicking in my head and saying, yeah, I am not being the best person to be around at this moment. And I should try to change that. And so I did. It wasn't instantaneous. It's not like the next day I'm all like, in control of all my emotions.
That would be amazing.
Right away. That would have been amazing. But yeah, from that instance, I learned to be more considerate and to realize that not everything should revolve around my feelings at the specific time. Because it's just a event, specific moment, and then after that, your day can still change for the better.
Interesting.
And not to let your emotions control your day as well, right?
That's very true.
Yes, well, all my emotions controlled my days. I've got to, I can relate to what Rowie said about not dealing with your emotions. And I was a very shy teenager, and my mother was the same. She was very emotional, and I grew up just with my mother because they were divorced. So they are. Still am. Yes, I think I think yes, you do need someone to tell you like straight, so direct, like a friend or even a parent. And it was my mother who kind of woke me up and said, "Okay, Derek, just snap out of it." Because I was very behind on my studying. I was not interested in studying and doing my homework. So I think it was an argument I had with my mother really woke me up. I think maybe I was 15 or 16 at the time. And yes, and to that day, I've just been doing my homework because, I've always needed help with it, but I just tried. And I was really frightened to speak to teachers, but actually from that argument that I had with my mother, I just began to get help and speak to teachers and speak to my father, who.
Does that only involve the sense of ownership, or do you think you've also started to take a stand? You started to take a stand for yourself with various things in life.
Yeah, I think it was kind of the taking a stand. I think it's and I think part of me changed.
That day.
That day, yes. When we had that really big argument, and I became more aware of the importance of doing well at school.
You have transformed into teacher, Derek.
Yes, I can't believe what's happened.
Wow.
I don't know, but yes.
Well,
Thank you, Mum.
How about teenager Pratik?
Yes.
Teenager Pratik was fearless.
Oh, wow.
I was always a rebel, but I think over the years I have kind of mellowed down. I think a little bit of all what you guys have said. I think I'm in more control of my emotions. And that's just not from teenager to today. I think each year you learn something and you grow.
Yes.
Yeah. You have challenges when you're an adult that test your emotions.
Absolutely.
And your control of your emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
And then living in Japan, I think I've become more mindful of others, more considerate, and then take stands where it's important. Otherwise, I think I still lack that because I think I've kind of filtered that out of my system, what I want to take a stand for and what I think just, let it be. It's not going to change, or I'm not going to die on that hill. So I think that's how. But, I just mentioned this word change, and I was hoping to understand what are your perspectives on change, since our lives are like a roller coaster, especially in the middle of semester, and we always deal with changes. So do our students with so many changes in their lives. Do you embrace change positively, or do you shy away from it?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
really.
I think for me, I think it's now or never. I think it's changes upon us. I just have to mention AI, and yes, I think we all have to kind of physically change, but it's really a good question. Emotionally, perhaps.
Emotionally,
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
I think it's important to embrace it. Mentally, yes.
As well.
As life is going to change, I
Like what kind of change, if you have anything specific in your mind? You don't have to answer right away. We can come back to you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sure.
don't want to put you in the spot.
Oh God.
I'll give like a really kind of surface level example that might be an easy access point. When I was younger, I used to love skateboarding, and my fashion style was very much baggy trousers, skateboard shoes, and big hoodies. I listened to a lot of punk and hip hop music, and that was my identity. That's who I was. And when I looked at, that was when I was about 15, 16. And when I looked at adults and teachers, I thought, oh, they look so boring. They wear really boring suits. And they were
suits.
They wear silly clothes. And as I got older, I wear suits now, and I love wearing suits now because I have a different perspective. I've changed the values in my life as well. I think dressing more professionally helps with my job, and it also makes me feel more professional. So does that like a very simple change, but just your fashion.
Yeah, maybe I just slightly digress, but do you think you're somewhere unconsciously emulating your father?
My dad?
Or your mother, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
well, my dad was a priest. He used to wear robes.
I mean, not in terms of the attire, but like his mannerisms and his mannerisms or his personality traits. Maybe some things which you did not agree with earlier, and now you're just embracing them. It comes inherently to you now.
Yeah, sure. When you're younger, I don't know if everyone feels that they're like their mum and dad, like not very cool. But now I think he's one of the coolest guys. When I catch myself laughing a bit like him, or I have certain phrases that have somehow stuck in my brain that he uses, and when I use them, I actually quite enjoy that. I think, he's really cool, and I'm starting to sound like him. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I mean, it's inevitable, right? We are our parents' children, so we are bound to like get some of the traits that they have or their mannerisms.
And those changes are not necessarily something to be worried about. As you get older, your idea of change changes.
Absolutely, yeah.
When you're young, change feels a bit scary. Think, I've finally found my identity when you're 15, 16. And as you get older, it's going to change. No way! I don't want it to change. I'm scared of that. But as you get older, you learn that change is fine, and it actually helps you to adapt and feel comfortable in new situations.
Feel comfortable, embrace it, I think. And
But is it always worth embracing? Is it always fair, Rowie?
For me, I actually do like change, but the funny thing is, I like it only on my own terms, which is hard because we can't control everything. And that's something I've learned over the years, probably from teenager Rowie to Rowie now. But what I mean by I like change, I like that feeling of transitioning, like from being, for example, like an easy example, from being in one place to another. And then when you're in that new place, it's like everything is possible. So I really, really like that feeling. But what I was thinking of when Pratik was asking this question was like a recent big change in my life was moving from Miyagi to Chiba, quitting my old job and to come here and teach at Quiz. And that was a big change for me because I love Miyagi and I love my community there. I love my school. But the decision to change my job and to move was all my own decision. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy. Like I said, I want it on my own terms. So I'm still always back and forth. So I ask people, when I ask people about something, it's not because I want them to decide for me. It's more like I want people's perspectives so I can make a clearer decision for myself. Maybe I haven't seen things from a certain angle and maybe they have. So when I was trying to decide, should I leave? It's the pandemic. Is it safe to go? Will I even get the job? Like there's so many things going on inside my head. But inevitably at the end, it's still me who makes the decision. I just listen to all these people that I trust, who are my friends, my family, and then once I'm there, I just dive right in and like enjoy it fully, which I really like. When I feel things are out of control, I think changing something kind of helps me. When, for example, when I'm very, very stressed out, maybe a lot of girls kind of do this too. I like getting my hair cut or my hair colored or my hair done. So when things feel out of control, there's something I can change, and makes you feel I control it, makes you feel a little centered. Because this is what I can control, but everything else around me I can't always control.
I think that's a great tip.
Yeah.
To also see the benefit in these simple, small changes in life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your question about is change always good? Sometimes it's difficult and challenging, but if you can find those little things to help you still feel control of your situation, that's a good way to deal with change as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? How should our students embrace change? They're all young. They're all exploring, discovering new avenues in life. What's that one tip you'd like to give to them?
Good question. I was talking to a student yesterday about this. They're gonna go and study in the UK soon, so they got really big change coming. And I thought your mindset is a really important part of how you approach changes. And rather than thinking, oh, things are going to change, and having a negative idea of, oh, they're going to be different to now, it's not familiar, I don't know how it's going to be. Instead, imagine it as a very exciting adventure. Like Roy said, there's so many new possibilities, new people you can meet, new things you can learn, new food you could try. Anything, it could be something.
Being open about it.
Being really open and seeing it as an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, don't be fearful of the unknown. You know, the world is crazy but interesting. Maybe it's kind of fearful that you might be going out abroad, first time abroad, and so don't fear change. Don't fear life is going to be different, and just get yourself, as you say, open mindset. The glass is half full. Positive thinking. Challenges.
For me, there's this quote that I really like that says, feel the fear, but do it anyway. So I think the fear is actually good because it makes you more prepared. Like you think about all the possible outcomes, you are more careful and all that. But if you are if this, let's say, study abroad or like this new job is pulling you and you really want to do it, but you're scared, just feel the fear. Be nervous, tell your friends, worry about it, but do it anyway, and then have the best time of your life.
I think, instead of resisting these changes that life will anyway throw at you, it's important to embrace and move on.
Yes.
Have you had any big life events that changed your perspective, or that one moment, or that one incident that changed a lot in your personality? To know more about that, we will come back next time.
Yes. Ooh, exciting. Let's
and we make sure we'll make it worth your time.
Yeah.
And I will make sure I dig into their lives and get some more.
And we'll make sure that Pratik also tells us some of his secrets.
Yeah, nice.
Come back for the biggest, darkest secrets.
Okay.
Nice. This has been the
Curious
8
Podcast.
Remember to subscribe if you want to hear the next episodes, and give us a like.
Give us a like. Come on, give us a like.
That super helps.
And your comments on what topics we should talk about in the future would be really helpful. Anything that you want to hear, just let us know.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And if you'd like to join the podcast, we'd love to have students, other teachers, and other staff to come and chat about topics too. So feel free to come and talk to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're really kind.
Everyone's welcome.
All right.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious. Thank you, everybody. See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.